Materials are the backbone to every Subnautica playthrough, but it can be quite annoying when you run out of something important. I've done my fair share of resource gathering in this game, and today we'll explore the best places to get everything you'll ever need. Starting out with cave sulfur, it's one of the easiest resources to get, being scattered around the shallows and crashfish nests. To find some, explore the small caves and giant coral tubes dotted around the safe shallows, and this should net you plenty. Ah, copper. This stuff is the bane of every player's existence. However, it doesn't have to be this way. Copper spawns in a lot of different biomes, but it seems to occur the most frequently in the mushroom forest. I recommend mining along the perimeter of this biome, so the mushroom trees don't get in your way. And if you aren't having any luck here, the Bloodkelp Trench and Lost River Junction are also good options. Moving on to Cave Sulfur's deeper, much more interesting cousin. Crystalline Sulfur can easily be found in the Lost River brine pits. But if you make it down to the lava zone and realize you forgot to grab enough, you can resupply in the tubes of the lava castle. Up next, diamonds are found throughout the map, but by far the best location is the mountain island. The caves on the island contain tons of shale, which drops diamond a little over a third of the time. With unlimited food and air, it doesn't get much easier than this. If you're looking for gold, then just head on down to the Jellyshroom Caves. While mostly known for its magnetite, the caves also contain an insane amount of gold. A lot of biomes may have gold, but none of them have anywhere near this much. Ion cubes are critical in all kinds of futuristic tech. You can find some in the various caches, as well as a large deposit in the alien thermal plant. But if you go to the primary containment facility, you can use the ion fabricator to mine up as many as you like. Kyanite is an ore that's easy to spot but difficult to mine, with even the largest outcrops having the chance to net you nothing at all. Nevertheless, the blue crystal can be easily spotted against the orange hue that dominates the inactive lava zone. Also, if you're crazy enough to try coming down here without a prawn suit, you can grab smaller kyanite pieces in the lava castle. Lead is a crucial component in base foundations and reactor rods. Fortunately, it can be found relatively easily in the sparse reef. While this biome certainly isn't much to look at, the lack of flora does make it easy to move about and spot resources. I have especially good luck in the flat sand sections, but the whole biome is pretty viable. Moving along to lithium, or should I say, not moving, since lithium can also be found in the sparse reef. It occurs slightly more infrequently than the lead, but there's still more than enough for all your reinforcements. If you happen to be on the northern part of the map, the bulb zone also has its fair share. And if you just need a few pieces, then go mine some shale on the mountain island. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video and want to see more stuff like it, simply leaving a like or subscribing helps out more than you might think. Anyway, back to the video. Unsurprisingly, the best place to get magnetite is in the Jellyshroom Caves. You can collect the smaller pieces by hand, or grab a prawn suit to go do some mining. Either way, you really can't go wrong here. Nickel is one of those things that's really good for about 20 minutes before you never use it again. It can be found most abundantly in large outcrops in the Lost River brine pools, so grab your prawn suit, mine for about 2 minutes, and get quite literally all the nickel you will ever need. Quartz is one of the most useful resources found anywhere in Subnautica. After all, who needs to worry about survival when you can make cool windows? All jokes aside, the sparse reef and dunes both have a good amount of quartz, but the Grand Reef is by far the best. While it has its fair share of large outcrops, the smaller quartz nodes are absolutely everywhere. Similar to the mushroom forest, I like to hug around the edge of the biome, where there is less stuff getting in your way. Moving on to rubies, there are a couple of good spots you can try. There's a good amount scattered around the sparse reef, and the Blood Kelp Trench has its fair share. Rubies are also quite common around thermal vents and geysers, so make sure to check these out when you come across them. The thermal vents in the dunes contain a particularly high amount of rubies, so it might be worth visiting one of these if you know you're going to be needing a lot. With salt, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why anyone would ever need a lot of this stuff. But for the 3 people that do, you can find large outcrops around the grassy plateaus. Or just use a water filtration system. Your call. Silver is that other resource that players never seem to have enough of. It's just as valuable as gold, yet nowhere near as common. But if you head over to the underwater islands and drop down to the seafloor, you'll find a surprisingly high amount of the stuff. Just make sure you bring a grappling arm, because climbing out of here without it is not fun. Nearing the end now, we have titanium. This is, by far, the most useful material in the game, being used to craft almost everything. You can get plenty of titanium in the early game by crafting down pieces of metal salvage, and the bulb zone is great once you get a prawn suit. However, with the right equipment, and a certain disregard for one's own personal safety, you can travel to the far side of the Aurora, which has by far the most titanium out of anywhere in the game. In fact, this spot is so good, I made a video on it over a year ago, so feel free to check that out if you want more details. Last but not least, we've got Uraninite. This delicious green rock is useful in a variety of applications, most notably reactor rods, so it's always good to have some on hand. Uraninite has 2 great locations that it can be found. First is down in the Lost River brine, but if you don't feel like going all the way down there, you can find plenty beneath the underwater islands, while also getting some silver. Overall, if you're just looking for a wide variety of resources, the Blood Kelp Trench is easily the best spot in the game. It just has so many resources that every trip you make here is all but guaranteed to be worth it. It also sits adjacent to the sparse reef, and you can get almost all the materials you need from just these 2 biomes. I usually focus my mining around this general area, along with making separate trips over to the Grand Reef and Crash Zone. Once you finish that, just stop off if you need anything specific, and you're pretty much sorted. Hey, thanks for making it to the end. I love chatting with you guys, so feel free to comment what you'd like to see me do next. Well, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one.